I'm recording this little video for your extreme weather and science in the news as part of your communications kind of wrap up this week 5. This is a post, and if you hear some birds singing in the background, I'm sitting outside on this day, June 5th. So anyway, pretty day out here this week in June. We're looking at basically this post by a friend of mine, Ted Heller, who Tim Heller, rather, who does Heller Weather. I think I posted another something of his previously. He is a consulting meteorologist and advises weather teams, broadcast weather teams, on best practices for, doing weather broadcasting and such, and communicating weather information effectively. But this is a fascinating article. It's titled "Pew Research: Weather is Still Number One Local News Topic," and it always has been. But in terms of the communication of meteorology information, this is why a class such as this is really so important, because it's something that we kind of look for every day when we're watching the news, looking at your weather app, looking online, even just walking out your door to start your day. You're kind of taking in what weather is there going to be today. What do I need to be prepared for? How should I dress? Do I need to be prepared for any risky weather, severe weather, that sort of thing? So that's why weather remains the number one constant in terms of viewership interest in broadcast meteorology, or in newscasts rather. And I'll go on, I'll read some of this for you. The old mantra still holds true: if you want to win in the ratings, you must win in weather. 90% of U.S. adults surveyed say they follow local news to get updates on the weather. That's 90%. Look at that graph there. Weather, in terms of the question, many Americans follow news about local weather, crime, traffic, and government. Percentage of adults who get news and information about each local topic. Weather ranks number one. It's often or sometimes is up there in the 90% range. And then the other categories drop below that. You can see those other categories. So weather reigns supreme in terms of the information people want, and hence, again, why I think a course such as this, and the fact that you're taking it, is so good, and the course such as this is so, kind of needed. And again, I appreciate you taking this class, because I think you can glean this kind of information to take away with you as you conclude this class at the end of this week. So, anyway, no other category, he goes on to say, no other category comes close to that. Information about crime was second most important topic, followed by traffic, politics, etc. Broadcast meteorologists should also feel good about another part of the research. In terms of the quality of the content, 63% of U.S. adults surveyed said they were extremely or very satisfied with the coverage. The satisfaction of weather coverage ranks highest above every other news category. So, that goes to your Weather Journal post as well that you've been doing this class. I've been asking you to evaluate how effectively the messaging has been communicated. Apparently, 63% of adults feel it's being effectively communicated. That means, large percentage, 37% think it is not. So, or it's kind of, in the middling range. So, they said next question, most local news consumers are not highly satisfied with news they get about various topics, but they're most satisfied about weather. You can see it's right at the top of the category list here. And then the Pew conducted the research in January 2024, so it's fairly recent. It was done this year. Compared with the last time they did this research in 2018, weather is still a reason most people watch local news. However, people prefer to access the latest weather information has changed significantly. The local news landscape in America is going through a profound change as both consumers and producers continue to adapt to more digital news environment, wrote the researchers. Almost half of the people surveyed said they prefer getting local news and information from digital sources, an increase of 11 points. Television was the preferred news source 6 years ago, but now only 32% of people prefer watching local newscasts. That is an amazing statistic, isn't it? Only 32%. Americans increasingly prefer digital pathways. So television has dropped off dramatically. And you can see on the chart there, news websites or social media has increased from 37% to 48%. Print, newspapers, radio, way down at the bottom. Television stations today are multimedia news production facilities creating content for several broadcast and digital outlets, including websites, mobile apps, streaming apps, and various social media platforms. Now, this is why I've asked you for your Weather Journal post to focus on social media in addition to what you're seeing on the websites for NOAA and such. See what they're saying on Twitter, see what they're saying on Facebook, etc. Because that is an increasingly important source of information. And then local newspapers are way down at the bottom. Then he goes on to say, reflecting this shift to digital platforms, many television news reporters are now internally called multimedia journalists. They're called MMJs, all right, and they do it all. MMJ meteorologist seems more accurate. This updated title will also serve as a reminder to local TV stations and weather teams that keeping the website and mobile app updated with timely, relevant weather content is as important as producing a 3-minute weathercast for the news. All right. And just as weather is the reason most people watch local news, it seems to also be the reason consumers access a station's website, mobile app, streaming app, etc. For that reason. Excellent article here. Makes a lot of great points that I've emphasized throughout this class. So again, I just wanted to share this with you in this week 5.